Megan Jo Wilson, head ringleader of the House of Rockstar, and I'm here with the amazing Rockstar goddess, Tiff Lee, the body language expert. How are you, Tiff?
Hello. How is everyone? I hope you're doing well.
I am so excited to talk to you about this subject. I've been working with Tiff, following Tiff, fangirling over Tiff, and learning so much about this thing called body language. And whenever we start talking about it, I suddenly get so self-conscious about my own body language.
So I'm not reading you right now. I'm not.
Okay. So first, I would love for you to share a little bit about how this body language thing came into your life and how it impacted your journey.
Yeah, it was totally random. I went to a conference for work. My boss said, find a conference you want to go to it. I picked one. It was in Florida. And the keynote speaker was Janine Driver. And my life was totally changed after that. I mean, she's one of the top trainers, does FBI things or all these fancy people. And she did a keynote. She was the last day our keynote speaker. And I made it a point to stand in line for 2 hours, which is
No, you did not.
Which is something that Tiff doesn't do. I don't stand in line for 2 hours for anything. But I was like, I've got to meet this woman. I've got to get in touch with her because everything she talked about just spoke to me, and it felt so like me, And we were so similar. Come to find out, our birthdays were like 3 days apart. So
no way.
That makes a lot of sense.
Love that.
Yeah. So we ended up connecting. I went to her institute, got certified, started traveling with her, going to places and speaking, and it's just taken off from there. Yeah.
It's so fascinating. So
it's wonderful. And it has changed.
Yeah.
It has changed my life.
Like how? How has it changed your life?
I walk different, I talk different, I interact with people differently. I've learned how to stop talking, which is something that a lot of people don't do well. You stop talking and like really listen and observe what other people are doing. And when you can master that, oh my God, the world just opens up to you. Like I said, I feel more confident. When I went back to work after getting certified, people were like, you seem different. What's going on?
Really? It was that noticeable?
I just learned the new things this weekend. The past week, my life was changed, when in the certification, we dug into some deep cases. So it was amazing. And I just decided that I wanted to put my own spin on it and bring it to the world and bring it to women and show them how I want every woman to feel the way I felt after those 5 days.
Yeah, it's so interesting as you're saying that. It kind of makes me like a little bit frustrated or jealous, or like, why don't they teach us this in school if it's that powerful, if it's that impactful, right? And I know I've heard, you probably know, being the expert, like that much of our communication, so much more than our verbal, is happening through our body language. Is that true?
Oh my God, yes, it is. It is so true. I would say it's about half and half, because the words are super, super important.
Mm-hmm.
But a lot of times the words can mean something different, So
Right.
Like I tell people, whenever somebody's angry, you hear the word bored. Bored means lonely, sad, or disinterested. So, but all we hear is the word bored. It's like when kids say, I'm bored. But when you find out that bored really means something different, are you still going to yell at them and tell them to go outside and play?
Right.
Or when you know that, are you going to switch and really think about, oh man, what's going on?
Because they could be lonely, sad.
Lonely, sad, and disinterested.
They could be sad, but saying I'm bored. It's kind of like my daughter always says her stomach hurts whenever any part of her body hurts. It's just like if she doesn't feel good, she says, my belly hurts. And so I have to go, okay, I know she doesn't mean belly. It could be a headache. It could be she's tired. So it's almost like, it sounds like when you have this information, you're like learning a new language and you can read and understand more of what people are really saying.
Definitely. And it even applies to yourself, because I'll catch myself doing things or saying things and I'm like, oh man, why am I doing that? Why am I saying that? Why did I just do this when I'm talking to this person? What's really going on, even within yourself, not just within them.
That is so cool. Okay,
yeah,
so
I love it.
It's so fascinating. Okay, so you work with women of
Yes.
all kinds, and are you teaching them body language tools? Like, how do you work with women and body language, and how does that make a difference in their lives?
Yes, well, I do an 8-week program where I coach women on, I have a basic framework, but it's so tailored to what their specific problem is. So I have some women that I work with who just want to talk about sex and confidence. I have some women who are professionals and want to talk about how can they as a woman be more assertive in a boardroom full of men. You know, I
Right.
have some clients who are single and they're like, I feel like my friends are getting more attention than me and they're married. What am I doing wrong? Why am I not getting that, that same attention? So it applies to every area that you can think of in your life.
Yeah, and I know you and I have even talked about like in Zoom calls. A lot of people are in big group Zoom calls right now. Like, how do I sit? How do
Yes.
I frame myself? How do I command attention when I'm
Right.
leading
That's
a
been
3-day, retreat through Zoom right
right.
now?
That's been one of the things that I've worked on the most as
Yeah.
of recent. Of course, with everything going on, everything being virtual, when I started talking about Zoom meetings and how all of this stuff still applies virtually, you know, everybody wanted to know, well, what can I do? What am I doing wrong? You know, why am I leading a Zoom meeting and nobody wants to turn the camera on?
Yeah. Yeah. Nobody's coming.
Like, we used to be in meetings in the room with each other, but now nobody wants to turn the camera on. So
Yeah.
just little things you can do to kind of encourage people to participate, you know, because it does get easy, especially we've been doing this for a while. It gets super easy to get super comfortable and relax and have the meeting on, but not really be present.
Oh,
So
for
there's
sure.
certain things that people can do as the leaders of the meetings to kind of pull people back in to get them involved in what they're doing online.
Okay, so I have to ask, like, what's one thing? Let's just give them one little tip for those of you doing Zoom calls. Like, you just went like this, or like, what's one tip for people when they're doing a Zoom call to like bring people in?
I would say to always say people's names.
Oh,
Yes. Instead of just getting on your call and just word vomiting and saying whatever you got to say as you're talking. So Megan, what do you think about this? And when I spoke to Lisa on the call last week, she said this. And when I spoke to John, he said this. And when people hear their names, or they expect to think, oh my gosh, they may call my name. It just makes them kind of more attentive to what's going on and
I
more
literally, when you just said my name, I was like, what? I was like,
right, right. So it's just the fact of acknowledging somebody's name, you know, and one, brings them to attention, but it makes them feel like their opinions are valued and appreciated, which goes into a whole nother realm of leadership and what that all means. But
right.
just saying somebody's name can pull them back into the conversation and make them more engaged than just you getting on the call and going through your list of your check boxes of things you have to talk about, and then everybody's bored.
Yeah, exactly. Okay. So this is so good. And it's more than just what your body's doing, it's the words you're saying. And obviously that I work with women too, and one of the complaints that I hear that I know you could help with is like, no one seems to notice me in meetings. Like, I have great ideas, but my boss just, it's like I'm invisible.
Right.
And you and I both know, but we're just coming at it from different angles, right? But it's about presence, confidence, radiance, embodiment,
Yeah.
so that you can be seen, because women are really well trained at being invisible or being in the background, even if they're in the room.
Yeah, I did it. I did it for years. When I was an executive assistant, I would be in the room and literally rarely anybody would ever call on me, ask me for my opinion. And after I took this class, we had a meeting and the CEO of the organization said, well, Tiffany, what do you think? And
No
I honestly
way.
was kind of stuck for a minute. I was like, oh my God, you're asking me?
It's almost like you're helping people like take off the invisibility cloak.
Take off the veil, take it off, be seen, and being able to be confident in
Yeah.
being seen. That is where all of this comes into play, because there's something about just knowing things to do, even if you don't always get it right, but just saying, I know that I can do this, this, and this to be more confident. Just that alone makes you more confident.
Right.
Because you
Because
feel
then
like
you
you have
have you
the tip
right.
of the spear.
You've got a tool, you've got a hook, you've got a handle on it. You're not just faking it.
Exactly,
You're
exactly.
feeling it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. And it works. It's crazy. to think that just moving your arm this way or moving your hands this way can convey confidence. But I
Right.
promise you, it really does. It really, really, really does. And just even the way that you tilt your head to one side to the other.
Okay, so this brings me to the next topic. I'm so excited because I know you also help women a lot, and we've talked about this at length, and I'm very grateful for your tips, but you actually help women get more of what they want in their sex lives and dating lives
Oh
and
yeah.
flirting lives
Oh
and
yeah.
relating to men or women or whoever they're dating, so that they can send the right cues and read body language cues.
Exactly. Exactly.
This is like gold information.
It is one of the things that once I learned this stuff, I realized when it came to dating, I've never been married, but when it comes to dating and being out at bars, I've been doing it, but didn't know I was doing it. So once I added in more knowledge and then started really like purposely trying to do it, watch out. I pay for no drinks at the bar. No.
What?
No. We
So
don't do
you
that.
can
Ladies,
teach women
stop paying
how
for
to.
drinks at the bar. You don't have to do it.
Okay, that's like the business calling card. I can teach you how to get free drinks at the bar. So again, could you give us, like you said, even the way you hold your neck could make a difference? Can you just like demonstrate or teach us like a.
Yeah, so the neck is one of your vulnerable spots.
Right,
If you think about like when you're stressed or you're under anxiety, you go like this, you're kind of like
right,
pushing it. So when you expose, particularly the sides of your neck, that shows vulnerability. So if you're talking to somebody, so you and I are having a conversation. Let's imagine that we're at a bar
right,
and I'm talking to you like this.
right.
And we're just talking and we're having a good time. And then all of a sudden I kind of shift and I'm like, yeah, I really do understand that. That seems really interesting. That's something that I would want to know about. Or tell me more about that. Well,
Yeah.
what are you doing out tonight at the bar versus what are you doing out at the bar tonight? Tell me
Yeah,
about
and I
your
mean your tone, like the musicality of your voice shifts too, which is probably connected. And I know you're exaggerating it a little bit, but it's like
right.
this is softer, right? It's like I'm
Exactly.
not.
That sends a message. And the biggest thing about body language is don't always try to understand it per
Right,
se,
right.
because it speaks to the subconscious level.
That's right.
So you may not really know or be able to totally understand what's going on when you're doing it, but just know that it speaks to somebody else's subconscious. So that just exposing the neck is exposing a vulnerability. So
Right.
so think about when you like your best friend has a baby, right? And I'm coming to see you, coming to see the baby, and you're holding the baby in your arms. Are you typically holding the baby with your head straight, looking like this, or are you like, oh?
Totally to the side, right?
Our bodies do it
Our
on our
bodies
own.
do it.
Yeah.
It's like our bodies do it without any consciousness. And I always say like we're so much more animal than we think we are. And
Yeah.
the you know,
We
and the
absolutely are.
subconscious is like running the show so much more than we think it is.
Yeah. And that's where it gets really, that's when things start to get juicy. When you realize that the body will do these things whether you want them to or not a lot of times. So
Right.
that is where when I work with clients who want to get into the deception detecting, that's where that kind of comes into play, because your body will do one thing even though your mouth may say something different. Your body will 9 times out of 10 tell the truth even though your verbal may say something else. So you're like, oh, how was your day today? Oh, my day was great. When you're just listening, you hear great. But did you notice that I shook my head and said no?
It was great.
The body will tell on you. Or you say, oh, how's everything? Oh, everything's great. Well, a
Mhm.
shoulder shrug always means uncertainty.
Wow.
Your day is great. Why are you shrugging your shoulders?
The body is always telling.
It is. It tells on us all the time.
It tells on us all the time.
Yeah.
So you're helping women understand their own bodies,
Mm-hmm.
use their bodies to connect with their confidence, read other people's body language to understand. I
Yeah.
mean, that alone is like huge. I'm thinking for dating, I'm thinking for job interviews, even for like being outside, reading what's going on. Someone's approaching me. Should I be on guard? I don't know. I'm just thinking of all the ways that this could be so
Yeah.
valuable.
And it's been really helpful right now with everybody having the mask on. because you can't see the mouth, you can see the eyes, but a lot of the face and a lot of things that do go on in the face, they're blocked. So this is when you got to pay attention to the other parts of the body that are telling you massive amounts of things all the time.
This is amazing. This is amazing. And I know that, you covered like 2 or 3 body moves and there are like thousands. Yes.
Yes, there are over 5,000 as of yet, where people are discovering more, scientists are discovering more every day. And I'm sure after COVID, there's going to be even more.
Right.
Yeah.
So cool. All right. Well, I know that you often offer like free classes for women who want to learn more about this. And the next one I'm so excited to say
I know.
and to be a part of is called Command the Bedroom. And this is where you're actually going to teach women 5 specific sort of body language hacks or moves or things to get the sex you want.
Yes, it is time.
It is time, sisters.
It is time, ladies. It is time to get the sex you want, to get it as often as you want, to get it the way you want, to get it started the way you want, all of it. I'm going to give you my top 5 hacks that are just going to just shift. You're thinking about it, going to, by consequence of shift your partner's thoughts about it. It's going to be great. I'm so excited
Right.
for this
And
class.
to shift your partners about like not in a manipulative or tricky way, but like from your own confident.
Right. From your own confidence, from realizing that, hey, I've wanted him to do this and I've been telling him to do this, but have I been saying it in the right way that really conveys that? Because when you can attack the subconscious level, it's a wrap.
It's a wrap.
Yeah.
Okay, so anyone who's watching who wants to be a part of this, this next class is going to be on November 5th at 6:30 p.m. Eastern.
Eastern, yep.
So all the East Coast goddesses can have their, are people allowed to bring like wine or?
Oh, yes.
Okay.
When I post, when we get I'm doing the link now for the Eventbrite. It's going to be, bring your wine, bring your cocktail, whatever your pleasure is, because we're going to get really, really juicy. Like it's no holds barred. Put the kids to bed. Tell somebody to watch them. You need this hour, ladies, to yourself.
Yes.
It's going to get good. We're going to get descriptive. You may be in the mood afterwards. I don't know.
Yes. Yes. I love when women get together to talk about sex. There is nothing quite as fun. And you're not just going to talk about sex. You're going to like teach specific things to try. And I'm thinking, is that a Thursday night?
Yes, it's a Thursday.
So you've got the weekend ahead with some
Thursday
to play with. And
yeah.
if you're single, could you come? Like, it'll be great if you're single, if you're it's just like, it's going to be an honest conversation.
Single, married, divorced, in situations, whatever. Anybody who's having sex and wants to have sex, any woman who wants to have sex or is doing it needs to be on this free call. It's going to be so great.
Oh my God, I love it. I cannot wait to hear and learn more, even though I've learned a little bit about the hacks. I still want to be there. So I will be there, and I love absorbing your wisdom and your knowledge, and we'll definitely put the link to enroll. It's going to be a free class, which will be super fun.
Yep.
People can learn a little bit more about the 8-week. And what's your website, just so people can go there too?
TruthTellerOnline.com.
TruthTellerOnline.com. And you're Tiff Lee on Facebook and Tiff Lee on Instagram, right?
On Instagram, I'm Truth Teller Online on Instagram.
Oh, right. Okay, so Truth Teller, Tiff Lee, Truth Teller. Find her, follow her.
Yes.
Come to our Command the Bedroom class on November 5th at 6:30 p.m. and you can see all the details to register. And thank you so much for sharing your brilliance with us.
Thank you so much. It's been so fun. I can't wait to see you in class.
Okay. Bye, y'all.
Bye.